This is people that have come over on holidays to visit Australia. They were in one of the most beautiful parts of the world, and for this to happen to them at a place like that is nothing more than just tragic.
All 6 people on board died when the small plane crashed into a river near Sydney. The 5 passengers were part of a British family. Briar Stewart now on how the Canadian pilot is being remembered.
But you can see the smile on his face. That smile never left him. He was always very happy.
This is how Dave Shalin is remembering his old friend, Gareth Morgan.
He was very encouraging, very positive, and talked about his love of flying.
So my dad's friend back in Vancouver, Canada.
Morgan was originally from North Vancouver. In this video posted online, he explains that he got his first taste of the pilot life when he flew in a plane owned by his father's friend.
Kind of got me hooked, and that was in my early 20s. And so, you know, I just thought, hey, this looks like a great career.
It was one that took him to some of Canada's most remote corners and around the world. He worked for Harbour Air in BC and in the Arctic. He flew planes in the Maldives and did 2 separate stints with Australia's Sydney Seaplanes. He started working for the company again in May of this year.
He was an extremely experienced pilot with over 10,000 hours flying time, of which 9,000 hours were in seaplanes.
He was flying a charter trip on New Year's Eve when the plane nosedived into the Hawkesbury River north of Sydney. It sank and all 6 on board were killed.
So it's very sad.
Dave Shalin found out Morgan was killed this morning when he received an email from Australia. They met through church.
Here we are building houses.
They went to Mexico twice on mission trips. Even though Shalin hadn't seen him for a few years, Morgan was never far from his thoughts.
I did always think about him. Whenever I'd hear a plane, float plane go or see take off, I'd, kind of think of Gareth.
As family and friends of all the victims grieve, crews are working to remove the wreckage of the Beaver seaplane. That needs to happen before investigators can piece together what went wrong and why a holiday flight ended in tragedy. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Vancouver.